What is going on, guys? I am Samuel and welcome back to Louisiana. Today ironically marks exactly 1 year since I walked the stage and graduated high school. And for my high school graduation, my grandma gave me one of the coolest things I've ever been given. She gave me this antique box camera. I know it looks like a cardboard box, but this thing is a working film camera. It's called a Kodak Brownie, Target 620, made in USA by Eastman Kodak Company. I don't even know how old these things are. In fact, let me tell you, I'm claiming it's 100 years old, but it could be older. How old is Kodak Brownie camera? Okay, so this camera was first released in 1900, so 125 years old. And obviously there was no SD card, there was no like digital photograph in 1900. So these are film cameras and you load it up with film. In fact, let me go show you the film that I put in this thing. Into my studio, and right here is film stock. So this is the film that camera actually uses to take photos. It's not 35mm film. This was even before 35mm film, and it's called 120. The reason for that is this format of film that Kodak made was called their 100 series, and then this was the 20th version of that 100 series film, so it's called 120. This is what it looks like. The ISO is a measure of like how sensitive a camera is to light, and with film, you only get one specific ISO for that entire roll of film. This is actually good through next month of this year. Film does expire. I don't know what shooting on expired film does, but yeah, and I have a couple rolls left that I have not shot. But as soon as I got that camera, I got this pack of film, I put one roll of film, loaded it up into it, and for the past year, guess what I've been doing? If you guessed taking photos with this camera, you would be exactly right. Now, this camera is a little bit of a hassle to use, I think because it's so aged that it's got a couple quirks that wouldn't have originally existed, but it kind of made it tricky to just pick up this camera and shoot photos whenever I wanted. It did take me an entire year to go through a roll of film, which is not good at all. I think I probably could have done it in a week if I really wanted to, but I just kept this camera as something fun to pick up when I really had a reason to use it. So I think the little winder is kind of aged and it got really hard to wind my film. For like the last one or two shots, I actually had to get a pair of pliers just to be able to wind the film up on the spool. Also, the glass of the viewfinder was really dirty and aged and just kind of hard to see through. So when I was trying to compose shots, like you couldn't really see it. It was hard to wind, so it just was not the most easy thing to use, which is kind of the excuse I had for taking so long to shoot a roll of film. But just this month, I finished the last photo of my roll of film. It was time to get it developed. And because film is not digital, I couldn't just look at the photos I had taken. I had to send it off to get developed, which for a 19-year-old in 2025, that was a mind-blowing experience. I've never had to do anything like that, and it was pretty exciting. A little bit of a thrill, probably more of a thrill than I've ever had taking photos before, to be honest with you. And while this thing does look like nothing but a box, it's actually got a few little bit of a control on it. This little switch right here changes, this switch that goes in and out at least, changes your shutter speed. It's only between in and out. I think one's like 100th of a second and the other is just kind of bulb mode. This is your shutter drop right there. And then this little slider right here lets you adjust the aperture between f8 and f16 maybe. It slides in and out. It's kind of interesting to use, and you never really know what you're doing because it's kind of hard to see through the viewfinder and you don't really know what your photo's gonna look like. It's a gamble every time you click this shutter, and it's a really big gamble because you can't click the shutter again. After you take that photo, you completely use that opportunity up. So that's what made using this camera so fun. I had no clue what I was getting, if they were going to be incredible, if they were going to be absolutely horrible, and the bar was already set pretty low just with the hardware I was using, but that made it all the more fun. So once it was time to send off my photos to get developed, they went away to California, and then 2 weeks later, I got this little package in the mail. Let's see what we got. Now, a roll of film has, I think, 8 shots on it, and I only got 5 actually good ones that are even photos you can really tell what are out of the camera. Some of them were completely horrible, just completely black, out of focus. You had no clue what was going on. But let's look at 1 year of memories. Now, thinking back, I barely even remember any of these times. They were just pretty insignificant, just times I picked up the camera to snap a photo. But when I got these film footage back and developed, those moments became a lot more special because I had spent an entire year with those photos just sitting on an undeveloped roll of film, and I had to wait 2 weeks to even see what they were. So it was a really unique experience that I had never gotten with a camera before. So this first photo is just a photo of my mom. I had her step out on the porch. I was like, hey, just go out there and I'll take your photo with this 125-year-old camera. There's a light leak at the top, and that looks really cool to me. You never naturally get this in a digital camera. And then there's my mom. It's out of focus. It's underexposed. The whole photo is sideways. It's not really great. The colors are awkward, but I think it's incredible. And this is going to be a photo that I'll hold on to for probably the rest of my life. And the next up, this is my cat. This is my cat, Darby. And she's also blurry. She's out of focus. She's really dark. No one else would even know which cat this is except me because I remember taking the photo. But that's so cool. I had to wait 2 weeks to get this developed, and I had to wait probably 8 months of not even remembering that I had taken the photo. And then next up, this is actually the first ever photo taken on the camera. That is me just standing on the porch of the house. I couldn't even tell you what shirt I'm wearing. That's how bad the photo is. And then next up, I've got a photo of also on the same porch of the same day, me standing next to my grandfather. Not many people will be able to recognize me or him in this photo. I know the photo. I know when it was taken, and I know the memory in it. And the last photo is, of course, my bicycle. I had to get a photo of it just because, I mean, I take all kinds of photos of my bike, so it'd just be a shame to have a camera and not do it. Now, I do have a couple photos that I really wish I had successfully taken, which I did not. One of those of my grandmother, and then I have two other photos. They were completely invisible. I have no clue what I was taking a photo of. I don't know when I dropped that shutter. So those memories are gone, and I can't get them back. But this whole experience has really made me appreciate just how cool an actual camera is now. So the whole experience of using this camera, aside from being so unique and really fun, has also made me a lot more thankful that I actually get to use a camera like this now, where I can go out and document whatever memory I want and have it right there, where I can be a lot more creative. You have a lot more control over what you're doing. And it means that every single fun thing I do, I get to film, I get to take photos of it, and I get to document it even better than you could back then with this. And this camera in the whole history of the world is not that much older than this camera. And look how crazily different these things are. I mean, it's absolutely mind blowing. So with that being said, we're gonna go do some fun stuff, and I'm gonna take an actual digital camera, and we're gonna get to film it. We're gonna be able to get some slow-mo just in my hand like this, and we're gonna get to watch it today. I'm gonna attempt another trick on BMX that I have not done before, but I've kind of done. I'll explain it to you once I get it set up, but we're gonna need some supplies. Well, I brought my mini kicker to this little street spot. It's up on a big bank with a nice concrete parking lot run in. And what we're gonna attempt to do today is 540 out of this to fakie lander. I've never done that. Every single 540 I've pulled in my life has been in a quarter pipe where you land going straight down. But one of my dream tricks, actually the trick that made me want to buy a BMX bike in an attempt to land, is a 540 to fakie. Now, is it gonna happen today? I really don't know. I'm gonna give it my best shot. 2 weeks ago, I was trying this. I had a little bit of a cold at the time, so I probably was not riding at my best. So maybe the conditions are a bit more on my side now. I'm gonna do a couple warm-up tricks, maybe a full cab on flat. We'll bar spin this, we'll 360 it, and then we're gonna try to pull a 540. If I can land this, that's gonna blow my mind, but if not, we're gonna have a great time anyways.
Needed your tutu.
So we've got warmed up on flat ground, and now to fill up the kicker setup, I'm gonna do a bar spin on it first go, and then I'm gonna do a 360. It'll be time for some 540. We've done all the test jumps, and the problem is doing a 540 kind of sounds like you're just over rotating a 360. In my mind, they're completely different tricks. You're spinning totally differently. You're in a different commitment to the trick. You're on a little different axis. So I have to put out a lot more effort to pull this trick, but this might be the setup to do it. Let's find out. I've been giving non-stop goes at this for almost an hour, and I actually put some little stuff underneath my kicker to steepen it up a little bit, make it a little bit taller and get more pop. That felt better. I've changed my pedaling, that's felt better, but now I'm out in the heat, and it takes so much time just pedaling the bike to get to the jump. My legs are getting exhausted. Today might not be the day. I give it one more go before my energy is completely gone. Well, we're back the next day with some fresh muscles, and I brought my ramp yet again to the same street spot. This time I did bring another little block of wood to put up underneath it, try to get a little bit more pop and a little bit more height out of this. So maybe today's gonna be the day I can pull the 540. We're gonna pull some more. I was not successful yesterday, but I was consistently getting to 450. So maybe if I can put a little bit more juice in it and start consistently getting a little bit more, I'll pull it today. If not, well, I'll do a big 360 first go, and then we'll start pulling for a 5. Well, in 2 days of tries, I could not make the 540 happen. I'm gonna be back to do that. I think the potential for success is there, but my old camera is cool either way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your grandmother, go ask her about her old cameras and her old photos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.